Hi, everybody, and hello. Welcome to Subconsciously Speaking, What's in Your Mind. I'm your host, Ilah Brock, certified hypnotherapist, also known as a subconscious interpreter, all-around mental landscape tour guide. But today we're in for something good. Today we're pulling back the curtain and looking at hypnosis. Not the Hollywood version, not the magician on the stage version, the sleep, where you're getting sleepy kind of caricature version, none of that. We're getting into what hypnosis actually is, and maybe more importantly, what it isn't. The episode today is titled, Hypnosis Isn't What You Think It Is, Busting the Myths and Making It Useful. Now, let's kick it off with a little hook here. No swinging watches, no mind control, just powerful neuroplasticity minus the stage tricks. Yes, that's the truth of it. But I get why people are confused. When you hear the word hypnosis, most folks kind of their minds jump to this pretty theatrical territory. And they start to think the watches, but really, can you blame them with all the Hollywood scenery that we've had over the years that put hypnosis kind of in an interesting stigma? And Hollywood has had a field day with it, decades. Some guy in a cape waves a pocket watch and mutters something vaguely European, and bam, the poor soul on the screen starts acting like a duck and forgets their name or turns into a human robot. That's not what I do, like at all. But I also get it. We've been spoon-fed this version of hypnosis that mostly it's entertainment with just enough real element to make it confusing. So in this episode, I'm going to be peeling back where we're going to bust some myths one by one, and then I'm going to give you something even better, something real, something grounded, and something that can be useful for you, that you can actually apply to your life every day. This is going to be a two-parter. Today is part one, next week will be part two. So you got to watch them both, because part two is actually where I put the tools into place. Clinical hypnotherapy isn't magic, but it is powerful, and it's a whole lot more accessible and practical than most people think. What happens is hypnosis itself has a PR problem, public relations, and as we begin this, it's like when you think about it, when was the last time you saw hypnotherapists portrayed in a movie as someone normal and balanced and helpful? You don't. You get the villain, the evil villain, or who gets hypnotized, who starts hypnotizing people, or to rob a bank, or the guy in the overly chipper velvet jacket doing party tricks. And then clients come to see me expecting what? That I'm going to be snapping my finger like while they're awake, making them fluent in Mandarin or something simultaneously while trying to quit sugar. No, that's not how any of this works. The truth is, hypnosis isn't something mystical or a mind control technique. It's natural, neurological, it's just a natural state. Let me say that again. For the people in the back row, hypnosis is a naturally occurring, measurable, and highly focused mental state, okay? And when you come into a session, I explain that even in more detail. You go into it every day, probably without even realizing it. You ever been so lost, like in a book or in a movie or zoned in on a project, someone's called your name and you didn't hear them because you're oblivious to everything around you? Hypnosis. Ever drive home and had no memory of the actual drive, the autopilot, but you made it home safely? It's called highway or environmental hypnosis. It's not some fancy trick. It's your brain slipping into a trance-like state where the conscious mind checks out and the subconscious mind takes the wheel. And this is key. Hypnosis is not about the unconsciousness. I was driving home the other day. It was late. And I didn't go my normal route, but part of it was my normal route. And I all of a sudden had to keep my awareness because I was going to miss my exit. I was like, wow, that was totally cool, because I just caught myself in that state because I was in autopilot going someplace else. It's not about the unconscious. It's about a heightened focus, a heightened state of awareness. Your brain shifts into a more receptive state, usually moving from the beta waves of our activity into a theta wave that's relaxed and open, imaginative, that brainwave, that state that is fertile ground for change. It's like putting your mind into an update mode, kind of like what we do with our phones and the software. You're not asleep. You're just updating your internal operating system with suggestions that actually serve you. The real definition of hypnosis. The word hypnosis is actually the Greek word for sleep, but you're not actually asleep. You can't be hypnotized in your sleep. But let's talk about definitions because words matter. Hypnosis in the clinical sense is a state of focused attention and heightened suggestibility. That's it. It's not about being under someone's spell or under someone's control, about blacking out, and it's definitely not about giving up your free will. I know that I've been asked many times after I've set up an appointment with someone and they're calling me, am I going to be able to drive afterwards? It's like they're being drugged or something. No. Just I say encourage people not to listen to the news for like a couple of days, I use metaphors that you'll like. Imagine your mind is a garden. The conscious mind is the gardener, busy, focused, and trying really hard to plant what it wants. The subconscious mind, however, that's the soil. And there's the kicker. No matter how great your intentions are consciously, if you're tossing seeds on top of a rocky ground, they're not going to be taking root. Hypnosis helps. It softens that soil. It lets you plant new beliefs, habits, patterns in a place where they can actually grow. It's also one of those only modalities where you're not just talking about change, you're experiencing it as it's happening. That's part of what makes it so useful. You're not just understanding an issue intellectually, you're changing it emotionally, subconsciously, neurologically. Now, something to keep in mind. Hypnosis is not mind control. Why is that? Let's bust this one too. You can't be hypnotized to do something against your values, against your morals. You can't be hypnotized without your consent. And no, you will not wake up in a chicken costume married to a stranger in Vegas. Okay? That's fiction. But it's compelling fiction, right? The truth is, hypnosis requires your consent, your cooperation. If you don't want to be hypnotized, you won't be. If you're not open to the process, it won't work. Hypnosis is participatory. You have to experience it. You have to want the experience. You have to agree to it. You have to show up for it. Think of me like a tour guide. I know the landscape of the subconscious mind and I know how to navigate it, how to point out patterns, how to suggest better pathways, but I can't drag you along in it. You have to be willing to walk with me and trail with me through it. You are never out of control in hypnosis, and that's one of the very first suggestions I give you. You are safe and you are always in control. In fact, most of my clients say they've never felt more aware or even more heightened than when they're in an actual state of hypnosis. They notice more, they feel more, they're processing more. It's like having an access to that inner whisperer inside of them, that one that usually gets drowned out by the noise, the doubt, the distractions. So no, you're not handing me the keys to your brain. You're inviting me in, you are inviting me into the passenger seat, but asking me to help you read the map. I'm the navigator, but you get to be the guide and the driver. Now here's something interesting. The subconscious doesn't speak English. Now I use English because I'm an English American woman, and that's my language. That's my first language. I know another one, but I don't speak it often. Here's something fun. You want to talk about your subconscious mind, and you've got to learn its language. How does it speak? It doesn't speak in English or whatever your actual, language that you think in. The subconscious mind communicates through symbols, numbers, emotions, stories, metaphors. That's why I don't sit in sessions throwing logic in your world. Logic is for your conscious mind. You get that. Your subconscious mind, the dreamer, the feeler, the part of you that reacts before you even know why. It's responding to imagery, to tone, to repetition. Oh, repetition. To rhythm, emotional impact. It is your imagination's source. That's why hypnotherapy is often poetic, metaphoric rich, and a little unusual sounding, because we're speaking the language beneath the language. You ever try to talk to a toddler why they can't have chocolate cake and you're using the IRS tax code to do it? It's not going to work, is it? So that's what it's like trying to talk to your subconscious mind with logic. It's not going to listen. But tell that toddler a story about a wise bear who learned how to eat foods that made him feel strong and happy. Man, you've got engagement, right? It's the same thing with your subconscious mind. This is why hypnotherapy works well for rewiring habits and emotional responses, because we're not trying to, or I am not, trying to talk you out of something. I'm just telling your subconscious mind a better story that you and I have already discussed and giving it an emotional evidence that it needs to make a change. So, waking in hypnosis, being in hypnosis, you're already doing it. Let's pull back the veil on something that people don't realize. You're already walking around in a hypnotic state all the time. Even you. Yeah, you right there. Yes. Let's call this waking hypnosis, and it's not weird, it's just unnoticed. Ever been scrolling through your social media? 2 hours disappear, you've been in this time warp? You found it. Ever found yourself reacting emotionally to an ad, to a song, a scent, a memory? Like that full body response before you even could think about it? Yeah, that's all hypnotic. We've been trained to think about hypnosis, and we've been trained to think hypnosis means closing your eyes, lights dimmed, music on, playing softly in the background. And here's the thing, the hypnotic state has nothing to do with sleep and everything to do with focus. And when your attention narrows and your external awareness fades, that's it. That's the zone. That's trance. Advertisers know this. Politicians know this. Influencers on social media know this. They definitely know this. I remember during COVID, stuck at home. I have this big old box of stuff that I got bamboozled to buy just because I got entranced by the advertisements. I mean, useless junk. I keep it because it's funny. Someday maybe I'll do a story on the stuff that I bought during COVID. It's just the exerciser or the hair tonic or the skin lotion or whatever. I mean, some of it was a hair remover and a muscle toner. And I mean, there was just all these ads, but I got caught up. Oh yeah, sure. I'll buy that. It looks good. Oh, I've gotten careful about it. So I'm careful. So the question isn't, can I be hypnotized? The question is, who's been hypnotizing you already? And were they helping you or were they hijacking you? The pandemic. It's still what they're advertising. People took advantage of us. The advertisers did. Shame on them. And if you were one of them, shame on you. If you've been taking in messages about not being good enough as you were growing up, say for example, smart enough, thin enough, successful enough, guess what? That went straight past your critical mind, see episode 2, and into your subconscious. That's hypnosis, baby. Just unintentional, unimagined, and often totally unhelpful. So what do? You flip the script. You start by being intentional about what messages you want to embed. I saw something on social media the other day, and it really kind of hit home. Somebody very close to me has just been diagnosed with a serious illness, and it's the labels that the doctors put on it. And you don't have to accept those labels because those become suggestions. If you're given, that toe is not looking good and it's gonna fall off in 6 months. It doesn't have to. I mean, I believe the power of the mind can help. If you're given a label by somebody in authority and that label's negative and you accept it, that's a suggestion. And that goes right into the subconscious mind. Now you're going to live by it. And I've got more to say as we go on. The gifts of clinical hypnotherapy, we use the same process, but this time you're in the driver's seat. Okay, brain waves. I want to talk a little bit about brain waves. So here's some real science, and here we go. Brain waves, there's about 5 primary brain waves. There's the beta, the activity thinking brain wave, the problem solver. This is the normal doing life frequency. And then there's the alpha, the relaxed, alert, creative. This is the daydreaming zone. Theta wave is the deeper relaxation, subconscious access, imagination, memory work, and that's where I take you. That's my goal, to get you below alpha into theta. And delta is our sleep for healing, etc. And there is gamma, but that's a whole other advanced territory, Jedi trick, or what's up for another episode. I don't want to get into it here. Besides, I don't really care about gamma. My whole thought is, I'm a hypnotherapist. I like theta wave. That's where I want to take you. So when we're in a hypnotic state, generally, some people go into it alpha on your own, like self-hypnosis. Theta wave will take you into, I guide you into that escape. Yes, you get to escape. It's a sweet spot. You're aware, but relax. It's an interesting phenomenon. Your whole body is so relaxed that your mind is so aware. You're alert, inwardly focused. You're not asleep. You're definitely not scanning the grocery list either. What's interesting is that children live in this state much of the time. They don't have a filter. And that's why children absorb belief systems, languages, habits, emotional responses without questioning them. Their critical filter isn't developed. In hypnotherapy, we create that state intentionally and temporarily so we can update those subconscious beliefs and patterns. Imagine being able to sit with a 5-year-old version of yourself and say, hey, you know what I learned about you? I learned that you had to be perfect to be loved. We don't need that rule anymore. You can just let it go now. Let's write a new one. Now that's what theta wave does for us. Now let's talk about willpower and how it's overrated and why. Willpower. Oh, you know that thing where we all supposed to have more of, that mystical inner grit that's supposed to help us wake up at 5 a.m., meditate, drink kale smoothies, and say no to chocolate cake at 9:30 p.m.? Well, here's the deal. Willpower is a conscious mind function, not a subconscious mind function. It's that 12% of your mind that analyzes, reasons, and makes logical decisions. And that's great until it's not. But guess what? Your habits, your emotions, your cravings, your procrastination, your fears, your triggers, those don't live in your conscious mind. They live in your subconscious mind, that 88%. If you're trying to willpower your way into change without updating your subconscious, you're going to burn out fast. And that's why people yo-yo diet. That's why they make big declarations on January 1st, and then they feel like a failure, a month later. Willpower gets tired. Your subconscious, it's a 24/7 job. It's an operating system. So instead of arguing with it, you work with it. In hypnosis, we don't just say, stop eating cookies. Let's find out why cookies feel emotional. What's that emotional part of them? Why are they important? Let's find out. Perhaps. We install new patterns of comfort, of reward, soothing, self-soothing. We create real emotional satisfaction without sabotage, and that's the real change. It's safe. And one of the things I've learned recently, just a way to word it, because sometimes it's hard to articulate, people don't like change because they don't feel safe about the change. It is safe to change. They just, for some reason, have it in their mind they're not going to be safe, and their subconscious mind is it feels like it's preventing them. But that struggle is your evidence it's working. When change starts to feel safe, things happen, change happens. And I want to start busting that thing, the sleep myth. Now, if I had a nickel for every time someone said, so do I go to sleep during a consult? I'd be recording this podcast from my yacht. Let me be clear. Hypnosis is not sleep, and it's not unconsciousness. Yes, the word hypnos comes from the Greek word god of sleep, but that's just a poetic branding. Hypnosis is actually a hyper-focused state of awareness. It's a very awake state. You're more aware, you're not less aware. You're more attuned. You feel like you're drifting or floating. But if I asked you your name, you'd still know it. If your phone rang, you could choose to answer it while in a state of hypnosis. The difference is you simply don't want to. You don't want to. I'm not preventing you from it. I even let you know that when you come in for a session. You're in control. Because your focus is inward, your body is relaxed. Your thoughts are streamlined. You're in a flow. And guess what? Guess what? I have lots of these. Some of the most profound shifts happen in that state. One of my clients described it like being in a bubble bath, but in my brain. I'm still me, but more peaceful, more open. That's the goal. Not to put you out to sleep, although some people tend to doze off, and that's pretty much why I record the session, just so you have it, but to put you in touch with yourself. Hypnosis is real life. It's not just the office. So being practical, the real power of hypnosis doesn't end when the session ends with me. This is about more than a comfy chair and a soothing voice guiding you into trance, and you're going to feel so relaxed. This is about giving you tools that you can use outside the session in real time. In real time. When that craving hits, when that self-doubt starts to creep in, or when your nervous system gets hijacked in traffic or a meeting or a family dinner that could have been an email or whatever, that's where we apply tools. And in my practice, I teach you how to self-hypnotize. I create personalized scripts and cues and anchors, imagery, all so that you can recreate that state in your own daily life. Again, I record the hypnotic part of the session. You have that to listen to daily for continual reinforcement. I just make it as easy for you as possible. You're not going to be dependent on me. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek statement here, but my job is really to work myself out of a job with each client. Yes, I would love it. If I can have clients every single week for a year, that'd be great. My average client will see me between 3 and 4 times. And then they're fine. They come in for maintenance every few months. But you're becoming your own hypnotist. And listen, self-hypnosis doesn't mean sitting cross-legged in the Himalayan cliffs chanting Sanskrit. It might be as simple as taking 30 seconds to close your eyes, repeat a suggestion, visualizing a calm place before you respond to someone. Just taking in tactical cues like pressing your thumb or finger together, and you trigger a state of confidence or calm. This is portable. This is a portable change, and this is the difference between transformation and temporary relief. We're building new neural pathways. So take practice. Yes, not just punishment. It's not punishment, just intention. And next week, we'll look at part 2 of this topic on myth busting and false ideologies of hypnosis. I know I'm leaving you hanging with a little cliffhanger here. It's just a week. You can handle it. Ask questions. Toss them in the comments. They will get to me. But I want to thank you for joining me today on Subconsciously Speaking. And if you did enjoy this episode, share it with someone you think still thinks hypnosis involves hat tricks and fair duck clucking, whatever. And call me if you're curious about hypnotherapy and how it works and if it would work for you. You'll find that your subconscious mind is ready to change more than you think. I can be reached at 559-749-4803 or go to my website, centralvalleyhypnotherapy.com, or you can go to ilahbrock.com. All of it will I think VisaliaHypnosis.com also goes to my website. Until next time, keep speaking kindly to yourself because your subconscious mind is listening. Be well, be bold, and as always, be aware of what's in your mind. I'm out. See you next week.